Okay, we are back. You're here with not on the border. Sorry.
On the border radio
Beyond the border.
We are right here on the border today.
We are not on the border, but kudos to all of our colleagues that are, I've been reading about people, especially our local community of lawyers.
Our local chapter.
Are going down to the border to help.
It's amazing.
Help individuals that are coming up and requesting asylum at the border and providing assistance there and legal help. I just saw on Facebook that one of our chapter leaders is on a flight down to Tijuana doing that, and I know her name's Tracy Klinka, and then Sarah Owings. She's been on. I don't know if she's on the show, but she's been one time, I think. And then Sarah Owings is another lawyer that's spent a lot of time down there helping out, which is through an organization called Al Otro Lado, which, I think it's good to have, not to turn away everyone, because I know you're going to be turning away those cases that are valid asylum cases at the border, and we need to, help as much as we can. I know it's gotten to be such a political thing, but being down on the border is tough. So, I think it's tough all the way around, but we're back on our show, which is called Beyond the Border. And I'm here with two other experts in immigration law, Melaney and Joanna. And my name's Elizabeth Garvish, and we all practice immigration law here in the Atlanta area. And we've been talking about, you just missed our whole kind of discussion about marriage-based interviews at the local office, and what's shown on TV and what's real, and kind of we had a few laughs about that. But now I guess we're going to switch gears and maybe talk about what's going on the employment-based side of immigration, and that's kind of what I do. I focus my practice on. Right now we're in March, which is the lead up to the H-1B filing season. The H-1B filing season basically is the first week of April. The reason why there's only one time of year you can file for a new H-1B is because they run out and they're used up, and actually probably 50% are rejected every year. So we have a quota annually for the H-1B visa, which is a visa that is for a job that requires at least a bachelor's degree or the equivalent in education or experience in a specific specialty. So a bachelor's degree in a specific quote-unquote specialty. So those are jobs like teacher, lawyer. It could be any IT professional. There's a myriad of jobs that could fall under that the H-1B category. So it's a heavily relied on visa for many employers. So right now we're in a situation in our country where, what are we at, like a 4% unemployment rate, which is basically very low. Yeah. There are lots of companies that need workers, especially in the STEM fields, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. There's just a need for workers. We see it. We don't have enough people that are highly skilled to fill a lot of jobs. So there's a lot of demand for this H-1B visa. The quota annually is 65,000, and there's an additional 20,000 for U.S. master's degree holders. So that's coming up April 1. Everyone's gearing up to file for their new employer, their new employees that need an H-1B, that may be on another status, or they may be a student on their optional practical training after completing their degree, and now they need to segue into their work visa. There may not be any other options for most of these people. But unfortunately, like the last, I don't know, it's been probably since 2007 or 8, they've run out of these visas on April 1st. Wow. Basically, the first week you have to file, but they know they're going to run out that first week of April. And then they reject 40, 50, 60% of the applicants because they have more than that 85,000. So it's kind of crazy.
It's just luck, right?
It's a lottery system.
Yeah.
So there's been some changes that there are taking place this year. I don't even, I don't have that many that I'm applying for new. I have several CAP exempt employers, so you don't always have to be counted towards the CAP if you are like a nonprofit entity or an educational institution, or not. It's a nonprofit entity affiliated with an educational institution, and there's certain regulations that you have to show to say I am exempt from being counted towards the H-1B quota, the annual quota. But so people are gearing up, and I know I've talked to some colleagues that are filing at law firms that are filing 2,000 H-1B petitions. The big labor and employment law firms with big clients are filing tons. I think part of that is the H-1B is the only visa that you can extend past the 6-year limit if you started the green card process. So the H-1B allows you, if you start the green card process at a certain time, there's basically 6 years limit that you could be here on the H-1B, then you have to go home for 1 year. But you can extend that if you started the green card process 365 days before your 6 years run out. So because there are basically major retrogression with visa numbers for green cards, people are starting their green card process. Employers want to hire people permanently. But if you're from India, if you're from China, and sometimes Philippines, those are the major countries that have significant backlogs, but India is the big one. You have to be in H-1B status in order to extend past the 6 years. So many of these Indian nationals or Chinese nationals have come over on L visas. So they're multinational managers or specialized knowledge people. So they've been transferred from a foreign subsidiary to a U.S. subsidiary, and they're working here in a specific capacity, their specialized knowledge or managerial. And the L1 has limits. So 5 years for L1B, specialized knowledge, and 7 years for L1A, multinational manager. So once they run out, they could have started the green card process, back 2 or 3, right when they first started. But because the backlogs to get to finalize your green card process are 12, 13, 14 years for Indian nationals, they run out of their time, so they've got to get into H-1B status to be able to extend their, their non-immigrant stay in the U.S. while their while their green card is, just pending. It's basically approved, but they're waiting for a current priority date, which means your number in the bakery has come up. They took the number in the bakery once they started the process, and 12 years later, it's going to come up. So it's a lot of stale bread, I would think, because you're just going to turn gray while you're waiting. It's crazy. So that's what our system is dealing with. So I think that's a lot of times why we have this major backlog, because a lot of these Indian. Okay, I'm going to try my first time. I'm going to try my second time. I'm going to try my third time, and I didn't make it. If you don't what are you going to do? And so these companies are just filing mass H-1Bs starting from the first year, and they know they're not going to make. So little companies that I've got this great worker, I need them, they're so amazing, they're kind of shoved out, and it's crazy. If there was one little tweak you could make the L1 visa also be able to be extended past the 5 and 7 year limits.
So you have more people.
That would change everything. There are so many. If I could just write down, and I'm sure through our bar association, these little tweaks that we could make that would just change everything, and just solve so many issues. Not counting dependents and the per country limits for the priority dates. would be amazing. But back to the H-1Bs. So those, everyone's gearing up to file those. If you want to file your H-1B, contact your lawyer. If you need help, you can contact us. We still have time to get the H-1Bs filed by April 1. That's our goal, to file everything by April 1. The start date's October 1. If you're on like a student visa, like optional practical training, there's a gap extension, so you can extend your work status all the way through to October. There's a new regulation that came out. So what's been happening these last few years? You file your entire application. So you've got to prepare so if you're filing 2,000, you got to prepare 2,000 applications, and you have to file them by April 1.
Yeah.
So it's a big deal for a lot of these.
How soon, because I don't do H-1Bs and I don't do business, so how soon do you start getting approvals?
Well, they've suspended premium processing the last couple of years, so you might not get an approval. You could get approval quick, but you might not end up getting your approval till after October even.
Yeah, that's
because they're basically now sending there's like a 60% RFE rate, and they're attacking the specialty occupation definition. I can talk about that in a minute. But so yeah, it's a lot of work to gear up. But the changes that they've made a change in how they're counting the cap. So they're going to count, I'm going to get this wrong, but I'm going to look it up and tell you exactly. But they're going to count the cap differently. Supposedly, it's going to skew it towards more U.S. master's degree holders are going to be getting counted towards the cap. So I posted this on my website here. Let's see, on my Facebook. And the other thing is they put out a new regulation. They fast forwarded it, and through like comments from American Immigration Lawyers Association, they've actually put part of it on hold, and part of it is being implemented now. So the part that's implemented now is, hold on a second. I can't even get. They're changing the way that they're counting. So the regulations, okay. Changes made. The amendments require. Okay. So what's happening is. What's happening now is they're going to make people, right now, we file all the applications, we prepare the entire application, and then we file it. And then they put it through a lottery, and then they reject it like several months later if it doesn't make the lottery. If it does make the lottery, we get a receipt, and we know within like 30, 60 days. And then now, next year, supposedly, not this year, but this regulation has already been implemented. But they've postponed it for this fiscal year. They're going to have you register in advance all your applications, and then they'll give you a time to file if you make it. So it might be better. I don't know how that's going to work.
So you wouldn't have to actually mail the application?
You wouldn't have to mail in your application. Okay. So it may help things out.
So when they have you register, do they have you scan and upload the application though? So is it more of like No.
Okay. The amendments require petitioners seeking to file H-1B petitions subject to the regular cap, including those eligible for the advanced degree exemption, to first electronically register with the USCIS during a designated registration period, unless the registration requirement is temporarily suspended. This change takes place April 1st, 2019 for fiscal year 2020. However, USCIS is suspending the registration requirement for this fiscal year cap season to complete all the requisite user testing on the new H-1B registration system and otherwise ensure the system and process are operable. And I think they did this for this year because there were so many comments from lawyers and from our bar. We had, I think there was lots of, so that's good that they did that. But the final rule, here's what's happening this year. The final rule also changes the process by which USCIS counts H-1B registrations. The USCIS will now conduct the lottery based on a pool of all H-1B applicants, including those with U.S. master's degree or higher. After the first 20,000 are exempted visas are issued, it will perform a second lottery in order in which USCIS counts these separate allocations will likely increase the number of beneficiaries with a master or higher degree from a U.S. institution of higher education to be selected for further processing. So
are they going to be pulling the 20,000 out first?
I guess they're going to like pull, I don't know how they're going to do that, but I guess they're going to look at all applicants, pull 20,000 from those that are masters. And then
what with them?
Then they're going to pull the last 65, because how are they going to do
What
that?
happened in the past? Masters would go in one?
No, they would do, in the past they would do the I think they would do the 65,000. I think they would do the 65,000 first and then the 20,000.
See, that's what they're saying probably, is that they're going to do the 20,000 first. And then this way, all the ones that have master degrees go into the general pool.
Again.
So there's a chance that from that general pool that they're going to be pulling from people that have higher education.
I'm not even sure. Mm-hmm. But is that, because how does that make sense? Okay, it's like count the H-1B. Okay, you can now conduct the lottery based on a pool of all the H-1B applicants, including those with U.S. master's degree or higher. After the first 20,000 exempted visas are issued, they will perform a second lottery restricted to all remaining unselected U.S. master's cap petitions. Oh, because they separated it out.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Is that they want more with master.
Do you do anything with business immigration?
I don't do any business
Me neither.
at all.
I know.
So
I
this
know.
is all foreign to me.
Elizabeth is
Okay.
our guru over here. We're like,
okay, so no.
I'm staying in my lane.
Absolutely.
I'm not even sure how they're going to count this. Like, I have to figure this out later. Like, it doesn't quite make sense to me. But they're supposedly have done the calculation. There's going to be more master's degree. It's going to skew it towards master's degree
That's what
holders.
it sounds
So
like.
that's a change. Yeah. And that's coming from, where I guess we want to keep our students here, which is fine. I don't think that's a big deal. I mean, I feel bad for people that are, or the foreign degree holders, or maybe just have a bachelor's from the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
But, that's fine. What we really need is more H-1B visa numbers, but
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to happen. But what else is happening with H-1Bs that's just really, really upsetting? And I had a discussion with colleagues just about a client, where there's a 60% RFE, request for evidence rate now. So they are attacking H-1B visas. A lot of them they're attacking on specialty occupation grounds. So there's a 4-pronged definition of what's a specialty occupation. And it's, is it regularly in the field that requires a bachelor's degree? Are there, there's in the regulations, there's 4 prongs that you rely on. And so there's certain evidence that we provide, and we rely on like Department of Labor publications. I mean, certain, expert opinions, documentation from the employer. Like, I always hire a bachelor's degree. Here's all my people. Now what they're doing and what we've seen, they're taking a lot of liberty and redefining what a specialty occupation is. Anything, and what are the triggers for those? But so they're denying tons of case. I mean, I think the denial rate, I don't know what it is, but you're doing a cap subject H-1B. You get a number in the cap, you're like, oh my God, and then you get a denial. So this happened to me. I've never honestly had an H-1B denial that I couldn't fix, or I've never in my entire career. So you see why I need therapy? I'm used to getting things done, and I'm used to like providing solutions to my clients, but they considered, and so here's the reason. Not my client, not her degree, not her qualifications, the specific job that she was filling, which she has a master's degree in a specific field, and it's a business analytics type job, and there's other people in that job that have H-1Bs and that are doing things. But
are they saying it's not special enough or specialized enough?
they said the job is not a special occupation. And so we provided, and they said, number one, they said because she's at an entry level, because she's right out of school. She's in an entry level, her wage level's too low, so how could it be a job that requires a bachelor's? Not even a job that requires a master's. How could it be a job that requires a master's? And then, we do tons of arguments. Okay, well, a doctor that is a starting new doctors that might receive there's 4 wage levels that Department of Labor uses, and there's only certain occupations that even fit within the wage surveys that Department of Labor has. And some of them we have to match them up to random jobs and say, hey, really, you guys haven't caught up to like a business analytics or whatever type of job. I mean, there's a lot of new types of fields that are very different. And so they're saying that level 1 is an issue. They're also saying if this job does not require a degree in a specific specialty, so that means like if it doesn't require if there could be more than one specialty or degree field for this job, it's not a specialty occupation. So if you could have an IT, mathematics, business, or logistics degree
and do this job,
then
it's not specialized
probably
enough.
could not be a specialty occupation.
And you've never had this problem before?
No. I mean, not where we couldn't resolve it.
Right.
I'd say a lot of times, I mean, and there's certain jobs that are getting that are being targeted that are easier to target. And then expert opinion. So we have a professor. We'll hire a professor, and we'll have them look at the job.
Yeah.
All the company. We'll have them look at like the credentials of the person, like specific duties that they're doing, and they write a long expert opinion letter. So in my denial, they said, "How do we know that this expert hasn't walked into the office and seen what this person's doing? That expert opinion has no validity." They threw that out the window. And then we provided
because he didn't walk into the office,
right? And then we provided evidence that, well, they've hired this person and they're in this job, and then also we provided evidence that this company requires a degree, this company requires a degree, this company requires a degree. See all these ads,
right?
Those companies aren't the same size. They don't do the same business. And, my employer's like 2,500 employees. I mean, they're not. But it's like a very unique type business. I don't know. I mean, whatever. They're like, you can disqualify stuff. So
they threw out all your evidence.
It's super bogus.
Yeah.
The denial's horrible.
All the way down.
And what I've heard from other colleagues is that, they may have, and this is a business analytics thing, and then they may have an market research analyst or operational analyst or a marketing manager even, or like there's many types of jobs. Logistics, I've got a logistics job I'm worried about that we're doing for this cap. Any type of analyst or like specialist or something, or those really so now what they're doing is denying all of these. And what we've seen, the trends that we've seen among colleagues are, and this is like, I'm like rock star immigration lawyers are like getting denials. And
no, exactly.
Like super scary.
Exactly. That's on the family and removal side too.
Yeah, super scary. And, and it's like, I filed 4 cases for the same position. 2 got approved and then 2 got denied. Exact same position. And the reason, it's not the person, this is the job that they're denying based on the specialty occupation definition. So those make no sense. But if you even, like, you should never go to immigration and tell them that you approved 2 and denied 2, because they will deny.
They'll deny the other 2. They're not going to approve the 2 that were, that's for sure. You don't want to do that.
So you can't do that. But the remedy here's the remedy. You need to sue immigration, and they don't like to litigate. They will probably end up with, approving your case to avoid the litigation, avoid setting a precedent.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing. So
are you starting that in your office, filing mandamuses?
It's not a mandamus. Now we are. I have to get, I need to get admitted to the federal district court. That's my accountability goal this month because I mean,
am
that
too.
for other stuff.
I am too. So what are you filing when you're suing?
So I'm not a litigator. I haven't sued. This is the first time I've ever had to figure it out.
Take it to another level.
I found a lawyer that specializes in this.
Okay.
And I said, we can hire this person. I went to my client. I said, here's your options. You can appeal, whatever. But I'm like, if we file a lawsuit, this will get approved. I promise you, this will get approved. Because I've talked to tons of people. And they have either a big litigation team that they can go to at their law firm or they're, and I was like, and I know some colleagues are going through that. And also through our Bar Association, American Immigration Council has been successful doing these lawsuits. And it's mostly they just kind of cave because they don't want to do the litigation. They probably don't want to have a precedent. They don't want to have a federal judge even see this. Because it's bad. Because really it will set a good. It will define the specialty occupation. It will show things. We'll be able to rely on those cases in the future. But they don't want that. So that's what's happening now. So my client and many other, I've talked to many other colleagues that they say, please, you can sue. I even told them I will figure this out. I will do it on my own. Let's do it. But they're like, no, we're not going to move forward, and we don't want to spend money. And I think even if you do sue, if you're a company that does have a reputation for suing, you won't be messed with by immigration. I
am so taking this on this year. It's my goal.
I was talking to
after our chapter conference.
Nice.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh, yeah. I didn't get to do the mandamus. See, I didn't get to see.
It was so good.
Ava.
At least get, I know. At least
I was thinking during that one.
Helen. At least get the, they had a really good PowerPoint that kind of walked you through step by step. So you'll get that. I think you got the handouts emailed to you for coming, but
yeah.
Anyway.
But I wanted to, that was during my panel, so I couldn't go to that. But there's other.
We're just going to take it to a next level for recourse.
Yeah. So, no.
It's the only way there's going to be a change.
We'll talk about that in a second. But, with the litigation, that's, it's a new normal. And, and I know you can get results doing that. We were talking to this guy that I met who's actually, that's his business now. He used to work as counsel for immigration. He's like, I used to see these files come across my desk and they would have likely to sue on a sticky.
Oh, wow.
And that would be just because they had sued in the past. And this is just did they sue on this case? No, but they had in the past. So they take note. So I think it's almost better for clients, if you have a reputation that you're not going to put up with some of the stuff they're trying to pull. And they're just trying to pull. They're just trying to push the limit. And, we're not litigators. We're not, used to, fighting like this. And clients, is this really... And clients are trying to make money. Is this really worth it? Some are like, yes, of course we're going to do it. But, the majority don't want to, for, this is still an entry-level business analytics position. I mean, I feel bad. The girl's just not going to work there anymore. It's done. I mean, and then, what do my clients think about me? And it's just, it's devastating. And I know I'm not, the only solace I have is I'm not alone.
No, you're not.
Because I see this everywhere. But, going back to what we're saying about mandamus actions, I mean, now, here's what I tell 2 years ago, what did we tell? Or, 2 or 3 years ago. We can use the signature. We can do the info pass. I will get your NATs done, and I would
Exactly.
I could get your NATs done, or I'll figure this out
Make
for you.
Make a phone call, write a letter.
I will do whatever. Now, I'm gonna have to start doing the mandamus, and I'm gonna have to sue. I'm gonna have to do all this stuff, and I know it's gonna, and that will work. It's just getting clients on board with that is scary. They don't want to, do it. But, and pretty much what I've told people, I said, let's wait, see what happens. But if it doesn't, we're going to have to file a lawsuit.
Yeah. This is our recourse.
And we're just going to have to start doing that. And that's what's going to be. And, we've got to get up to speed on doing it. And I've got to be admitted to the district court. I've got to do that or else I can't, I can't do it. So, that's my next goal. But yeah, so that's kind of what we're living in. So it's like advice. Our law practice is now changing to kind of keep up with it. I mean, which is fine, but it's scary for a lot of us who are not experts in this. And, you know, I mean, but I think some of this stuff it's easy to learn, and we kind of know that, you know, litigation is kind of, I think USCIS is really not keen to litigate all of these matters. So they're gonna, you know, and a mandamus action is just an action in federal court that will get, like, force the government to act, not
to
approve.
Make a decision, not approve.
So it might be like either approve, deny, issue a request for evidence, or schedule an interview, or
look at the file
and do
something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because it's just been sitting on some shelf for God knows how long. No one's looking at it. No case inquiries are working. If you were even able to do an info pass, it's not working.
Yeah, so that's kind of going to be the new thing. I mean, it's just, you know, we've been down one lawyer in the office. We have 5 minutes left. So we're going to, like, try to, oh gosh, that went by really fast.
That did. I know.
It's crazy. Yeah, so that's kind of just, like, it's the new normal now. And it's...
And you just got to be prepared and ready for the fight.
Well, here's what I said. I'll tell you what I said, like, years ago.
Uh-oh.
I know.
I was working in immigration court, like, when I first started, and I just wasn't, like, I don't think the best courtroom person. And I was also younger. Maybe I'd be better now, but it would just freak me out, and I just, like, I didn't like it. It was too scary and too much pressure, and I didn't enjoy it. I just, like, it stressed me out.
I love court. You must love court because you do criminal too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, maybe I'd be better.
No. But tell us what you were going to. What you said.
I'm not. I just don't.
You have to.
I literally. No, I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
No, I just.
You built it up.
No, I just, like, I told myself I want to do. I don't ever want to walk into another courtroom ever again. Okay?
And now you're, like, filing federal complaints against the government.
I don't want to do that. So I'm going to be doing business immigration law. And I won't have to. So now, let's go down the road.
A certain number of years, and here you are.
Here we are.
And you're going to do it.
I'm going to do what I need to do for my clients.
That's right.
I'm going to, or get, it's either get them to the, it's like, there's certain things we have to do what we have to do. We have to change with the flow. We have to learn new things.
Yep.
And figure all that out. So we're going to do that. But you know, it's funny how, I guess, don't ever make those statements like that because you never know. And maybe I don't, you know, we'll see. But that's the path we're on. And things are changing. I remember back, like, I was chapter chair. I was on the executive committee for our bar association. We had a really robust, wonderful, beautiful relationship. It's like we were running through the field, holding hands with USCIS. It was, like, amazing. I kid you not.
This was how many years ago?
This was
like 6.
So 2013.
Yeah, so 6 years ago.
2012, 2013, 2014. I had the babies 2015. Like, probably, because I was involved probably 2010, 2011, like a long time. I was on committees and stuff, so I would go to the meetings. Like, it was awesome. They would come to our luncheons.
Of course, I remember that.
Everything. And we'd be able to work on cases. We had liaison. We had a wonderful lady named Connie that would help with all the cases.
There's no more liaison committee anymore.
Look at baby pictures and, like, whatever. It was, now the last meeting with our bar association, we won't meet with you anymore.
Yeah.
We're done. We're shut down.
So, okay.
See, I know nothing of those times.
Oh, I know. And
I'm on the
Vermont
jump into the fire time.
Yeah, I'm on the
That's
Vermont Service Center. Well, maybe there'll be good times in the future.
Yeah. Well, you'll be prepared. You'll think, this is so easy. How did I get this?
But, you know, I remember way back when there was, like, 6 years to get an interview. And you had a paper file. Like, this is in Houston. paper file that would just sit there 6 years, and nothing was electronic or anything.
Oh, wow.
And it would just, so there was, you know, there's always been issues. It's just, you know, we had it, I guess we kind of complained, and then we had it pretty good. And now it's different. It's a different time. And, I don't know. It's like the future seems way uncertain.
Yes.
But I guess we can just, you know, I mean, I know, like, we're all human beings. We're trying to advocate for our clients and do the best that we can. I think that's, you know, all that we can do. But it's, you know, I've had doubts about, you know, the future of, you know, immigration law, and, like, you know, there's more of a fear about what's going to happen. And, you know, if it's too hard to get people in, if it is too problematic, our employer's just going to stop. I mean, what's going to really happen? I mean, what are the repercussions of, like, this really closed door policy on everybody? I mean, where is it going to go? It's something I worry about. So, but we'll keep fighting. I know there's, and you know, maybe I'm being a little bit more, overreactive than I should be. I mean, we still get things through. It just takes a longer time. But I used to be able to pretty much boast like 99 point something percent of my cases would get approved.
Yeah.
And now I'm like having to inch that back because it's
bogus denials, and then there not being a next level repercussion, and not hitting a wall,
an appeal,
hitting a wall.
An appeal won't work.
Exactly.
You know, like, it's like an appeal won't work. There's no way to. I mean, I've done things where I've, like, there used to be a customer service, like, liaison at California Service Center. That overturned an H-1B denial for me. Now they've taken customer service out of the mission statement of USCIS. So it's a little sad times, but I think we need to still keep moving forward. And I know we're about out of our time. Like, I don't know. Do you guys have any final words you want to say? Why don't you talk about your law practice, give your contact information and all that. I'm sending all my immigration cases to Melaney.
I know. I'm so excited.
All right, bring it on so we all can fight. I am attorney Melaney LaGronne with LaGronne Law. We do criminal and immigration defense. We are in Atlanta, and we also have an office in Gwinnett. And you can reach us at 678-250-5449.
I'm Joanna Delfunt with Delfunt Law Firm. My practice is in Cumming, Georgia. I do family-based immigration and removal defense. My phone number is 470-239-8773, or you could also find me at www.delfuntlaw.com. I'm not Spanish speaking, but I have Spanish speaking assistants, so that's never an issue either. And I would love to help you with your family based cases or removal defense in court.
And I'm Elizabeth Garvish. My law firm is Garvish Immigration Law Group, and we do business immigration and family immigration. Our website is goimmigrationlaw.com, and we will have a new website up soon. I'm working on it. Just don't even look at the old one, but it's under construction, I promise you. It's time to update that website. But we really enjoyed being here with you guys today, and
Absolutely.
We'll look forward to seeing you next month on Beyond the Border.
Daylight savings time starts tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, and daylight saving time starts tonight. So spring forward, guys.
Yep.
And enjoy the sunshine in the morning. Okay. I know, that's the only, it's like, don't you wake up and you're like, what time is it? Just by the sun?
It's blinding in the morning.
Yeah. Okay. Well, have a great weekend.